In this video, I'll outline everything that you need to know about dimensional analysis. In fact, after watching this video, you'll be able to solve any problem related to dimensional analysis in the future. I do stress that you stay till the end for full understanding. I have divided this video into two parts, a quick introduction and problem solving. In the problem solving part, we will solve problems of one-step unit conversion, multi-steps unit conversion one-dimensional, unit conversion two-dimensional area, and unit conversion three-dimensional volume problems. So let us start. Chemistry is all about conceptual learning and problem solving. You need to understand the concept, the definition of this concept, what does this concept really mean, in order to be better in problem solving. In dimensional analysis, we are going to deal with measurements. Measurements are quantitative observations, and they consist of a number and a scale. Scale means unit. You need both parts, the number and the unit, to be present for the measurement to be meaningful. If you have a measurement, then it should consist of a number and a unit. So dimensional analysis simply means analyzing dimensions. We do analyze dimensions by converting of units from one to another depending on specific definitions. Bear in mind that the quantities in dimensional analysis do not change. Okay, the quantity doesn't change, but we just express it in a different way. A kilometer is the same as 1,000 meters. A kilogram is the same as 1,000 gram, is the same as 1 million milligrams. It is the same quantity. We just express it in a different way, but the amount doesn't change. You will need a number of information in front of you to solve dimensional analysis. The fundamental SI units, most of you know the fundamental SI units. Okay, these are the important prefixes in the international system units. We use this on daily basis. Famous ones are the DC, the centi, the milli, kilo, mega, giga. These are the important prefixes that you need to know in order to use them as part of information that you need in dimensional analysis problems. Some English to metric equivalents, these are important definitions to understand in order to solve dimensional analysis problems. Examples, 1 meter equal to 1.094 yards, 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters, and the other definitions that you'll find them quite useful in your problem solving skills. Dimensional analysis, one unit conversion. Let us start solving a problem about one unit conversion now. If you have any problem with this, please bear in mind because it is very simple. The steps are exactly the same for one unit, for multi-step, for one dimensional, for two dimensionals, and for three dimensionals. The steps are exactly the same. So just concentrate with me, and I'll make these problems very easy for you. Convert 555 pounds to kilograms. So this question is asking about kilograms and pounds. We want to convert 555 pounds to kilograms. That means we need to define the relationship between pounds, and kilograms. And that is very simple, as we know that 1 kilogram is actually 2.205 pounds. Okay, it actually it depends on your teacher. Does he want you to memorize this definition, or he will present it to you in the exam? If he wants you to memorize it, then probably you will need to memorize. If not, then myself, I don't ask my students to memorize the definitions. It is not necessary. They should be in tables and they should be ready for anyone. So this is the definition that will link between a kilogram and pound. 1 kilogram is 2.205 pounds. From the definition, you write the unit factors. Unit factors are, from the definition, 1 kilogram over 2.205 pounds and 2.205 pounds over 1 kilogram. So every definition has two unit factors. Unit factor is the factor that we'll use to multiply with the number in the question in order to change the units from whatever they ask for to the other unit. Okay, so this is are the unit factors. First step, you need to write the definition and you need to make sure that it is right. From there, you need to write two unit factors from the definition. Step 3 is simply solve the problem. That's it. It is done. We are now going to solve the problem. We will multiply by the number in the question, in this case 555 pounds, by the definition that will allow us to cancel the pounds and keep the kilogram. Okay, which one of the unit factors, one of them, only one of them will be suitable. One of them will allow us to cancel the pounds and keep the kilogram. So it is the first definition, 555 pounds multiplied by 1 kilogram over 2.205 pounds. Pounds will be cancelled and you multiply 555 by 2.205. The answer is 252 kilograms. The most important thing in this example is to show you that you only need 3 steps to solve dimensional analysis problem. One is define the relationship. Number 2 is write the unit factors. Number 3, choose the right unit factor that will multiply with the number in question to get the right answer by cancelling the units that are not desired and keep the unit that is required from the question. That's it. Let's see another example. Convert 335 inches to centimeters. Exactly the same steps. Step 1, definition. 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. Step 2, write the unit factors. 1 inch over 2.54 centimeters and 2.54 centimeters over 1 inch. Step 3, solve the problem. We are done. So what we'll do, we'll multiply 335 inches by the right unit factor that will allow me to cancel the inches and keep the centimeters. So which definition you think we'll use, the first one or the second one? 335 inches multiplied by the second definition. The second definition is the one that will allow us to cancel the inches and keep the centimeters according to the question. So we'll multiply 335 by 2.54 and the answer is 851 centimeters. Dimensional analysis, multi-step or multi-unit conversion. In this example, we are going to convert 20.0 kilometers to miles. Now, there will be two ways to solve this problem depending on the information that you will have in hand. It depends if your teacher allows you to solve this question by any way. He gives you the freedom to solve this problem, or he might give you a set of information and ask you to solve the question depending on those information. Now, to change kilometers to miles, he might give you the following definitions. Kilometer equal to 1000 meters. 1 meter is 1.094 yard, and 760 yards is 1 mile. So we have definitions kilometers to meters, and then meters to yards, and then yards to miles. Using these three definitions, we can convert from kilometers to miles. Okay, it is a multi-step method. And as I said, it depends. Will your teacher allow you to, will he give you this information in the exam, or will he need you to memorize these definitions? So these are the definition. This is method one of solving a problem. I will show you method two later. So, but the steps are exactly the same. Write the definitions, the relationships. In here we have three relationships: 1 kilometers to meters, meters to yards, and yards to miles. Step two: write the unit factors. So you will write two unit factors for each definition. For kilometer, it will be 1 kilometer over 1,000 meter and 1,000 meter over a kilometer. For the second definition, it will be 1 meter over 1.094 yards and 1.094 yards over 1 meter. And the third definition, the unit factors of the third definition will be 1,760 yards over 1 mile and 1 mile over 1,760 yards. Do you really have to write these unit factors? Can you just understand them by mind? Well, I give marks to my students by writing the unit factors. Um, there are marks for each step. So for step two, yes, I want them to write all the definitions, even the non-important ones, everything, because there are marks like 2 to 3 marks for these unit factors. So it depends again to your teacher if he decides to put marks for these definitions or not. Step three, solve the problem. Done. We are done. We have done the first thing. We found the definitions, the relationship between the units. Step two, we wrote the unit factors, and step three is solve the problem. So first, we are going to change kilometers and we are going to change kilometers to meters by using the right unit factor that will allow us to cancel the kilometers and keep the meters. The answer is 20,000 meters. Then we'll change meters to yards by choosing the definition that will allow us to cancel the meters and keep the yard. And the answer is 2180 yards. And then change the yard to miles. And again, by using the unit factor that will allow us to cancel the yards and keep the miles. So the final answer is 12.4 miles. And as you can see in this example, that I rounded to the right number of significant figures at the last step. Okay, so don't round to the right number of significant figures in between the steps. You just need to go through all the steps and round to the right number of significant figures in the last step. For this problem, the same problem, 20.0 kilometers to miles, if you have the definition from kilometer to miles directly. Okay, if your instructor gives you this definition, then use this definition. If he gives you the other definitions, then you use that method. Okay, so if your instructor gives you the definitions of kilometer to meters, meters to yards, and yards to miles, then you cannot use this one here. Okay, if he gives you a definition of kilometer to miles directly, then you can use this one here. Okay, so it depends which method. You need to be ready for both. You need to be ready for both. So the definition is like 1 mile actually equal to 1.609 kilometers, or 1 kilometer is 0.6 to 1 mile. Either one will be enough. You need only one of them. Okay, so the direct definition from miles to kilometer or kilometer to miles is the one that you know in this slide in the front view. Step two is write the unit factor. If I choose the first definition, so it is 1 mile over 1.609 kilometers and 1.609 kilometers over 1 mile. This is the unit factor. Number three, solve the problem and simply multiply 20.0 by their right unit factor, and of course the answer is exactly the same as in the first method, 12.4 miles. How many seconds are there in 2 weeks? Yeah, that's an interesting question. Okay, we know that a week is 7 days, and a day is 24 hours, and an hour is actually 60 minutes, and a minute is 60 seconds. Okay, so this is the definitions that we are going to use. We will change first weeks to days. We know that it is 14 days, 2 weeks. So 1 week is 7 days. Okay, a day is 24 hours. An hour is actually 60 minutes, and a minute is actually 60 seconds. And this is actually the question. The question, they want you to go from weeks to seconds. These are the set of definitions that you need to use for solving this problem. Then write the unit factors. You will need to write 2 unit factors for each definition, a total of 8 unit factors. And then after that's done, solve the problem. Can I leave it as a homework for you? Okay, I leave it as a homework for you. Tell me how many seconds in 2 weeks. Please solve the problem, and then write in the comments below the video. Do engage with me, please. Solve the problem. Tell me what would be the answer, and comment on this video. Also, please comment on the significant figures in this problem. What will be the answer, and how many significant figures? So I'm waiting for your comments. The speed limit on many highways in the United States is 50 miles per hour. What number would be posted in kilograms per minute? This is a multi-step question, and it links between miles to kilometers and hours to minutes. Okay, but the steps are exactly the same. Don't panic. Don't panic. So the steps are exactly the same. Definition. First, we write the definition. So for miles to kilometers, it is 1 mile equal to 1.609 kilometer. Sorry. And for hours to minute, 1 hour is 60 minutes. These are the 2 definitions that we need to solve this problem. Then write the unit factors. 1 mile over 1.609 kilometer, and the other one, 1 hour over 60 minutes, and 60 minutes over 1 hour. And number 3 is solve the problem. I will also leave it as a homework for you. Please solve the problem. Tell me what would be in kilometers per minute, and how many significant figures. And I love that you comment below the video. Tell me if you got it from the first trial or you got it from the second, and if you face any difficulty on this question. If you're happy with the content until now, would you please stop the video and do like the video, subscribe to my channel, and after subscription, you will see the ring bell notification button. Just click on it and choose 100 so that you receive all my videos in the future. Also, why you don't share this video with your classmates so that they can also benefit from the content of this video. Thank you, and let us now to dimensional analysis of 2D area. Uh, Let us do dimensional analysis, unit conversion, and unit factors of the units of area. First of all, it will be very interesting to learn how to derive definitions of the units of area. Now, area is 2 dimensions, so we can easily derive its units from 1 dimension. We'll start with a meter. Now, area is 1 meter multiplied by 1 meter equal to 1 meter squared. Okay, but 1 meter is actually 100 centimeters. So 100 centimeters multiplied by 100 centimeters equal to 10,000 centimeters squared. And if I change centimeter to millimeter, centimeter is there's 10 millimeters, and 1 meter there's 1,000 millimeters. So each meter is 1,000 millimeters. So in this case, it will be 10 to power 3 millimeters multiplied 10 to power 3 millimeters equal to 10 to power 6 millimeters squared. It is very easy now to define the definitions, the relationships area of units of area, and that is 1 meter squared is actually equal to 10,000 centimeters squared, which is equal to a million millimeter squared. And you can continue with the other prefixes. Okay, centimeter, millimeter, micrometer, nanometer, megameter, whatever. You can continue and find all those definitions. Of the units of area. This is a very simple way. I really don't know if you know it from the beginning, but I would love also to hear from you if this is a new idea for you to define area units or not. So another something else we can do. Again, 1 millimeter, 1 meter multiplied by 1 meter is equal to 1 meter squared. I can define other units as well here. For example, yeah, 1,000 millimeter multiplied by 1,000 millimeter equal to a million millimeter squared. Each meter is actually 10 to power minus 8 to power 10 to power 6 micrometers. Okay, each meter is actually 10 to power 6 micrometers multiplied by 10 to power 6 micrometers. That is 10 to power 12 micrometers, and we can now define the set of definitions that will link between the areas units. Okay. If we start with kilometers, 1 kilometer multiplied by 1 kilometer is 1 kilometer squared, defining that with meters. Okay, 1,000 meter multiplied by 1,000 meter equal to 10 power 6 meters squared, because 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. And now definition from here is 1 kilometer squared is equal to a million meters squared. Okay, so I hope this method is easy and interesting for you um, to derive units of area of the international system units. Let's start with the first example. Convert 350 millimeter squared to centimeter squared. First of all, let us, the steps are the same. By the way, I do stress, the steps are the same. Write the definition, write the unit factors, solve the problem. Write the definitions, write the unit factors, solve the problem. So, definitions. We'll start with one dimension. Okay, to solve this problem, you don't have to memorize, by the way. You don't have to memorize the definitions. You can always derive them. All right. So we are talking about centimeters and millimeters. So let us use this method. 1 centimeter multiplied by 1 centimeter equal to 1 centimeter squared. Each centimeter is 10 millimeters. So 10 millimeters multiplied by 10 millimeters equal to 100 millimeters squared. So the definition is 1 centimeter squared is equal to 100 millimeters squared. Unit factors: 1 centimeter squared over 100 millimeters squared, and 100 millimeters squared over 1 centimeter squared. 3. Solve the problem. Done. So 350 millimeters squared from the question multiplied by the right unit factor. That will allow us to cancel the millimeter squared and keep the centimeter squared. And it is the first unit factor. So 350 over 100 gives you 3.5 centimeters squared. A hectare is a unit of area. It is a non-international system unit, but it is an important unit. I thought just to mention it here because it's used in many countries. 1 hectare is actually 100 meter by 100 meter, so it is 10,000 meter squared. Okay, this is the definition of a hectare, 10,000 meters squared. So I thought this is important information for you. And if you allow me, I'll just give you a homework to define how many hectares will be there in 1 kilometer squared. Try to solve this problem. See, I mean, you can go and Google it and find the answer, but that will not help you in the exams. It will not help you in solving problems skills. So you can do that, but first try to solve it yourself. Try to get the answer, and then you can go and Google it and find how many hectare in 1 kilometer squared. And then please do engage with me. Do comment in this video. Tell me if you got it right from the first trial, have problem with understanding these concepts. Okay. And now we go to dimension analysis of 3 dimensions: volume, don't panic at all when you move from 1D to 2D, 3D. It is exactly the same way. If you have a systematic way to solve the problems, to solve anything, really, you can go deeper and deeper and use the same method for the most complicated questions. So to derive definitions of the units of volume, we'll do exactly the same way as how we derived the definitions of the units of area. The difference, we will just add one more dimension in volume, because volume is 3 dimensions. So instead of just 1 meter multiplied by 1 meter, it will be 1 meter multiplied by 1 meter multiplied by another meter, and that is 1 meter cubed. In centimeters, it will be 100 centimeters multiplied by 100 centimeters multiplied by 100 centimeters, and that is a million centimeter cubed. In millimeters, 1 meter is 1000 millimeters, okay, and that is 10 to the power 9 millimeters cubed. And the definitions are now is 1 meter cubed is actually 10 to the power 6 centimeter cubed, which is 10 to the power 9 millimeter cubed, and you can just continue to define the other units. Okay, sorry for the fourth homework. This is a fourth homework for you. It will be interesting if you tell me 1 kilometer cubed is how many meters cubed and how many millimeters cubed. It will be great if you can do the same way as in the previous slide to define the definitions between 1 kilometer cubed and meter cubed and millimeter cubed. One famous non-international system unit is of volume is the liter. Okay, we use liter in everyday life. In all those bottles of water, milk, in the supermarkets, they write the units in liter, and the definition of liter is actually 1 decimeter length multiplied by 1 decimeter height multiplied by 1 decimeter width, and so a liter is actually is a 1 decimeter cube volume. To express that in different units, a decimeter is 10 centimeters. So 1 decimeter cubed is actually is 1000 centimeter cubed. To express that in meters, we know that 10 centimeters is a tenth of a meter. So 0.1 meter multiplied by 0.1 multiplied by 0.1 meter, that is 10 to the power minus 3 meters cubed. So the definition is of 1 liter is actually 1 decimeter cubed, which is equal to 1000 centimeter cubed, which is equal to 10 to the power minus 3, 1 of 1000 of the meter cubed. Convert 2,400,000 cubic centimeters to cubic meters. Again, the same way, let us derive the definitions that will link between meters and centimeters. And let us start from one dimension. Okay, so the definitions is 1 meter multiplied by 1 meter multiplied by 1 meter cubed. Change that to centimeters, which equal to a million centimeter cubed. So the relationship between cubic centimeters to cubic meters is that 1 cubic meter is equal a million cubic centimeters. This is the definition. Step 2, as always, write the unit factors. Step 3, solve the problem. Multiply 2,400,000 centimeter cubed by the right unit factor to get the answer, which is in this case 2.4 meter cubed. And we came to an end. Thank you very much. Before you go, I have a number of requests, please. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, click the ring bell notification button to get my future videos. Please share this video with your classmates. And before you go, this is a number of questions that you might get benefit from solving them. Uh, just practice with them. If you face any difficulty, please let me know. I'll be here for help. And my next video that I really recommend you to see and watch is the prefix to prefix conversion. It is actually a video that will continue in the dimensional analysis. It is very important to see in order to get a full understanding for the dimensional analysis, which is prefix to prefix conversion. You will find the link below this video at the description, or it will be one of the recommended videos after this video here. So you can click on it and watch it. It is very important. I am sure you will learn at least a thing or two from that video. I will talk about the concept of a meter and the concept of the prefix and how to solve these problems very, very easily. Things like 3 gigameter equal to how many micrometers, 3 over 4 nanometers equal to how many picometers. You know those prefixes that I'm talking about. These are the ones in the SI system. Um, we will just analyze them very easily. They will be like a piece of cake for you when solving such problems. I recommend that you watch this video now. See you there, and thank you very much.